right, our timer has gone off for our 45 minutes. I'm going to take these clamps off. And we'll take the twill tape off.
To wrap the twill tape back up and prevent knots and tangling, spread your hand as wide as you can and wrap it in a figure 8 from your thumb to your pinky finger. It will eventually start wrapping around itself and your entire hand like it does on mine here in the video, but I promise it works great. Just do your best with this technique and it'll be kind to you the next time you take it out to wrap a guitar.
There we go. I'll put this away and use it another day. I'm going to set this down on its top on the carpet remnant here. So I want to make sure that's fairly clean. All right, now we can start taking these off. And I left myself some dog ears this time, so it's a little bit easier. Now the hardwood, rosewood, mahogany, what we typically make the backs and sides out of, is a lot less prone to tear out as we are taking the tape off. So it's not as critical to really kind of go slow and across or horizontal or at an angle to the grain like it was on the top. So you can go a little bit faster with this. It's not quite as temperamental. And you're going to have some wet glue under here. Expect that. It just hasn't dried because it's been sitting underneath the tape. As long as you've left yourself a good 45 minutes to an hour. Try not to let it sit for much longer than an hour, because what can happen is that the twill tape can get glued to the top because it is fabric and those fibers act much like wood fibers. So the twill tape can get glued onto the guitar, and then you've kind of got these hard goobers on your twill tape that could dent your guitar the next time you use it. So I try not to let that sit there for too long. We need to scrape the bindings flush with the top, the back, and the sides. So let's go over that. The first thing we need to scrape the bindings down is a sharp scraper. And I don't know about you guys, but not once has the sharpening fairy ever visited my shop. So I have to do this myself. Okay, that should do it. Now, as far as the easiest way to hold the guitar body while we're scraping it, this is the easiest way that I've found, is I have it on my bench, pushed up against the wall, and I'm scraping this way with the grain as much as possible. We'll have to change that once we get to this, because we don't want to scrape across the grain of soft woods. In general, soft woods like spruce do not like to be scraped. They don't take to a scraper like hardwoods do. The softer woods, the fibers are not strong enough to withstand a scraper. A scraper is not as sharp as a chisel or a plane where we've honed that edge to a fine slicing tool. The scraper is it's a little rougher than that. So rather than slicing softwoods clean, it ends up kind of grabbing the fibers, and the fibers can come out because those fibers aren't as well connected and they're not as hard, and they have a hard time resisting that pull. Very much like the tape when we were taping the front, you had to be very careful so we don't pull those fibers out, because the fiber to fiber connection is not as strong and is not as rigid as a hardwood, so it tends to kind of fuzz up and can peel out and tear out much easier. So we need to be careful about going cross grain to softwoods, well, any woods for that matter, but especially with softwoods. There are a number of very fancy vices and clamps that will hold your guitar up, like this one or this one. I don't have one of those clamps. I just push this up against my bench and I kind of lean on it with my arm or my body. If you're getting nice curls like this, that means your scraper is pretty sharp and you're doing a good job. If you start to get dust, then you want to figure out if it's a matter of changing the angle, or if you just need to go back and resharpen your scraper. And for the most part, you can kind of use this hand as a pivot, and that will help some of this tear out issue, and it won't allow you to dig a hole. So be careful of digging holes. We don't want to do that in the top. Now when we get to the point where we're on these flats here or on the tail, we can work these a little bit with the scraper, being careful not to grab so much of the glue that we tear it out as well. We can do a little bit across the grain as long as we're not touching the guitar top. Once you start getting down to the top itself, we want to stop, and I'll show you how to fine tune that and really get down onto it. And that's about as far as I'm gonna go on that one. So what I do to approach these flat parts is to get some tape, try to get just one wrap of tape on it so that it's not too thick, and then I use that here. And that is going to allow me to sand flat to here without digging into the top, because this is protecting it. You want to be careful not to roll it back this way and round this off, especially in this area, because we want this edge nice and crisp where the fretboard and neck are going to meet this edge. All right, that's pretty good. I'm good with that. Turn it around. Now, before I flip it over and scrape the back, I want to get this cleaned off. Okay, that looks pretty good. Doing the back just like we did the front. And hopefully when you're taking a look at this, that you haven't run across any huge gaps that we need to fix. In the rosewood areas, you can get away with dropping some thicker super glue or like a colored super glue to try and match this. And if you do have any gaps, I don't see any, which is good and bad. That's good for me, but it's not good in that I can't show you how to fix it. But one thing you can do, and let's say we have a gap like right here, and if you push it, you can make it close up. Well, that's good news. So you can drop some super glue into it and clamp it up with a clamp, spray some accelerator on it, or just let it dry and then let that go and just keep on scraping. On the rosewood, that's totally easy to fix. If you've got any big goobers on here, you can go ahead and clean those off now. But what we're doing right now is not really we're not prepping this for a finish yet. So if there's still some discolorations from glue or sanding marks or something like that, we don't need to attack those right now, because as we go along, we're probably going to get a few more scratches and dings, and we will worry about those when we do the prepping for a finish. This seems to be doing okay as long as I'm at a 45-degree angle. I'm not going straight across. Not going straight across the grain. Okay, that I'm happy with. Let's see how this upper bout tolerates that. I want to be careful that I'm not pushing or pulling on this binding with too much force and knocking it off of the glue joint that we just spent so much time and care getting correct. So I'm going to go ahead and file this. Yeah, that's good enough. Now to the sides. Now, you may be tempted at this point to go grab a sander and just go to town on this, but I would highly caution you against that. Yes, this is a lot of work, but it is providing us with a nice clean finish, and we're able to keep this pretty flat across here. With a sander, it is super easy to, one, sand through this and make this way too thin, and over time it will be structurally unsound, so we need to be super careful about making these any thinner than they are. We already thinned them a little bit to bend them, so we do need to be careful about that. The other thing is that with a sander, it is super easy to round things off and to sand really almost right through your binding and get it super thin, and we don't want to do that. So yes, this is a lot of work, but it is totally worth it, and it doesn't take that long. I would encourage you to use a scraper for all of this part.
Even though there is some visible glue here, it's feeling pretty flat. Since we're nowhere near prepping the surface for a finish yet, I'm going to leave it as is until we get to that point, and I'll clean it up then.
When you're working on the upper bout here on the flat where the neck is going to attach right over the neck block, be very careful not to round things over one way or the other, or get it off this way. This is going to be really important to keep flat and square this way, this way. Be careful not to round these over. So we really want to make sure that this is nice and flat, which mine is right now, and I don't want to change that. So just be careful when you're scraping up here not to hollow things out or work so hard on scraping the bindings down that we start getting funky angles up here. Okay, that should do it. Okay, everything is cleaned up, scraped. Things are nice and clean. No major defects to take care of at this point. Looks quite good. I'm really happy with this so far. I hope you guys are too. At this point, we're going to be done with the binding, so I'm gonna get my bench cleaned up, get some of these tools put away, and then we can get started on the neck. So I'll see you in the next video.